One of the instruments that govern the conduct of the elections of Kenya is the Political Parties Act. And like all other instruments, it is a dynamic instrument because life is all about change. Kuna mtu alisema that the only thing that is constant in life is change itself. So we change. When we need to change, when we grow, we change. When we are faced with different circumstances that maybe we hadn't foreseen, we change. And therefore, we are in a situation where we did use these instruments and many others that are provided for in the Kenyan legal situation. We used these instruments to govern the election. We are very, very sure that 2027, we are going to have another election. And therefore, we are asking ourselves, could there anything that we require to do to the Political Parties Act in order to have better management of political parties and consequently better management of our elections? Because remember, who goes to the elections? Nisisi, through our political parties, you know? And Kenyan elections are conducted through our political parties. And so that is basically why we are here. So we want to rely on your experiences. We want to tap on your wisdom because the faith-based organizations have a very huge role to play in the Kenyan political system and eventually the democratic position of the country. You are the people who hold the citizenry that is in the political parties. You're also the people who hold the citizenry that goes to vote, isn't it? So you can actually influence how they vote in terms of are they peaceful, are they not peaceful? You can influence how they engage, and so on and so forth. And I remember one time we were having a meeting with faith-based organizations just before the elections, and it was very interesting because we were almost feeling like the back actually stops with the faith-based organizations. Because you actually have the largest ready audience. Sindio? The largest ready audience every so often. Kama ni Muslims, you have the audience every Friday, isn't it? Every day actually. Every day. If it is churches, some have a ready audience every Sunday, and others probably every Saturday.
My name is Bon Makolwal. I work with Elgia. Elgia, we were told to expand, means Electoral Law and Government Institute for Africa. Our main objective is to enhance democracy through dialogue. We as Elgia, we are in support and in collaboration with the Office of Registered Political Parties to have these consultative meetings for the purposes of enhancing public participation. We are all aware that public participation, as it is in our constitution, is the most legislated and litigated issue with regard to the legal reforms and legislation systems in this country. For that reason, we are in total support of the public participation that is being undertaken by the Office of Registered Political Parties to oversee the overhaul and the amendment of the Political Parties Act and other enabling regulations that comes with it. With the power of the Almighty before these religious groups, I know I've made it. Otherwise, welcome so much, Registered Political Party. Karibu sana wana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark Orwan. For those who have not interacted, my name is Anne Derito, the Registrar of Political Parties and also the head of the institution called the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. I am glad to see you all gathered here this morning. Thank you for turning up, even on short invitation, and to come and discuss very pertinent issues to do with legal reforms for the Political Parties Act specifically. As far as the process is concerned, we all know that we held a general election in 2022. And after the general election, every institution that works in the governance of election is obligated to, by process and by law, to look at what they did and to do what we call a post-election evaluation. And that is exactly what the Office of Registrar of Political Parties did. And I know some of you attended our post-election evaluation report launch at Safari Park probably almost a year ago. So out of the process of our post-election evaluation is what you get. You do a candid interrogation of the process and what we engaged in, so that finally you are able to see what we did very well, what we did not do very well, and also the gaps that arose from the process. And immediately after that, you start what we call the legal process of wanting to close the gaps and also improving the process, so that when we are engaging in the next election, then we are engaging from a process that we have looked and closed the gaps that are coming from that process. And that's what we did. And after that, we have been engaging various stakeholders, including civil society, the government institutions, political parties. Some of them we are still to engage a number of sessions with political parties also as the main key stakeholders in this process. The other thing we also want to discuss in this very meeting, just as a way of information, is probably the other bills that are there that relates to the Political Parties Act, and they are either in the Senate or in the National Assembly. For purposes of knowledge and information, and also for purposes of following up from where you sit, if you have a mechanism of following up on what happens in Parliament, then you shall have that opportunity to do exactly that. Currently, we have the one of the NADOC bill, which we shall discuss in this meeting, that relates to the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties and also to political parties, and which is the amendment, Political Parties Amendment Bill 2024. And this bill is discussing about the institutions, framework of the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. We shall explain to you what is there, and then you can also, I don't know, for public participation happened, and we gave our own views as an institution to that bill, but it's also important for you to know what is contained in that bill, and what is our problem with the bill, and what do we celebrate in the bill, what is our own opinion as an institution in the bill. There's also another bill, I'm told, that is in Parliament, in the National Assembly, that look at the coalition management, a bit of the coalition, especially between the Office of Registrar, one by the Deputy Speaker. Our opinion, even in that, during public participation, is that we should also be allowed to make it coalition agreement also public, so that the public do not get shocked to hear their shareholding in the last all discussion on shareholding and all that. Although to us, there's nothing like shareholding in the document. It is well governed in law because it's a Schedule 3 process. And Schedule 3 clearly says that people should, the parties that are coming to coordinate together must declare that how they shall share government. It is a Schedule 3 and it's in law, and that is what happens across the globe. People must really declare how they shall share government. Otherwise, it shall be chaos after elections if there's no system. And that's why the act, the law decided to say, tell us, how shall you manage government after you have been elected? One of the issues that we had wanted and we still want to think about is the Political Parties Code of Conduct. How should we really deal with the Code of Conduct from perspective of sanctions? We currently have a Code of Conduct in the Political Parties Act, which the registrar is supposed to administer, but it has no sanctions. Whenever we put sanctions, they never fight the the light of day. So as stakeholders, how can you help us have sanctions and serious sanctions on political parties' code of conduct? Because the only major sanctions that we are told in the current law is that the registrar should deregister a political party that have gone against the code of conduct. Deregistration of a political party, if you go to the act, it's also a process. It takes about at least 9 months. If there's no court interference, it takes around 9 months to deregister a political party, because first of all, you have to give a warning. Then after that, you have to give a show cause why. It takes another month. You have to suspend, even before you say show cause why, you have to suspend the party. And after that, you give a show cause why. After the show cause why, you also look like you are doing good governance in a fair administration action, so that everybody knows that you are registering a political party. You gazette, you put a notice in the newspaper, you give it several days for any comment. In the process of all that, you are considering that the party is keeping quiet, it's not even going to court, it's doing nothing, it's just waiting for you to register them, which majority of the time is not the case. However, we are not saying that we are helpless. We have a lot of work, and we have done it. Part of it is the strengthening political party constitution and ensuring that when they whip their members, they are whipping them within their laws. And we have seen many parties that have done that, and we have supported and helped them to overcome the situation and deal with their membership when they are willing to deal with that membership. We have also strengthened the internal party dispute resolution, and we have been training the parties on dispute resolution, and majority of the parties have now established dispute resolution committees. They have established the disciplinary committees, and we have seen a lot of activities within political parties. So one of the issues is to make political parties aware that they have something to do with what is happening within their political party. And I think we have succeeded very well in doing that. And we have seen a lot of political parties owning up their processes and strengthening the political parties and speaking freely about their opinion, even sometimes against their own party leaders, which to us, provided is an opinion that is covered within the law. I also note that in the current state of the nation, I think the religious leaders also have a very important voice, especially the voice of peace. We actually have to really work towards peace for this country and towards unity and towards moving together as a country. We may differ in opinion, but we have a country to protect, and we are one as a nation, and we must remain one. And that is the message every leader and every religious leader should talk about. Thank you very much, and I want to declare this workshop today officially opened.